triangle happens in everything. That is the beauty of Adhyatmika, and that is the reason why the spiritual science becomes the most difficult science. They say at a level that everything is triangle. And that is the reason why we do the sadhana of triangles. Okay? Sri Vidya is the sadhana of actually triangles, circles, squares and point. If you understand. So it's all about geometry. Yes or no? My Guru Bhagwan Pythagoras, my most favorite, loving Guru, he is one of the most beautiful gurus mankind has ever seen. Pythagoras. He always used to say, whenever a man approaches to become his disciple, then he used to give a stick, in those days on a sand, he used to give a stick and say, now draw a triangle. And what kind of triangle he draws, with that he looks at and he determines, okay, you are ready for being my disciple or you are not ready for being my disciple. Come back sometime, after some time, if you are not ready. You are ready? Okay, I accept you. Just by this, because the science is what he accepted, which is what the entire universal science is. Now, getting back to the point, what am I trying to tell you is, in everything there forms a triangle called triangular point. One is the object, one is the subject, and then the process that happens. The perceiver, the object of the object that you actually perceive, and the process of perception. But if you see the direct relation of everything in a twofold way, because there is only perceiver and there is the object of perception. Yes or no? And the process of perception is in the perceiver itself. Yes or no? So, when you perceive something, you form the base of this equilateral triangle called the perceiver and the process of perception. To the object of perception, you form a triangle, back to the perceiver. But everything actually exists in bifold, in a twofold way. So, in spirituality also, the process that you get back, in Jesus Christ, and the great Guru always says, you get back to the Father. You are all the children of Most High, Son of God. It's like the Son of Men walking towards to become the Son of God. So to be called as the King of Kings. And then also march becoming the King of, the kings, the Emperor, the final. So it is always a journey for a son of man to walk to become the King of Kings. The son of king and then the King of Kings. Am I clear? So this is the journey. So in this journey you also need to adopt a twofold process. One is a yogic process which actually by actually doing this kind of sadhana, by actually trying to ascend your consciousness. And this is a scientific way. Scientific, please do not confuse as the mathematics, biology, zoology, because science is like a huge mansion with so many rooms in it, and every scientist actually coming out of his own room and saying this is science. Yes or no? The biologist biology is a small room in a mansion of science. Physics is science, if you trust me. Chemistry is science, if you trust me. Biology, and then also zoology, and then all this is separate. Everything is separate. In chemistry you have so many branches. Everything is so huge that you study and finally you understand you know nothing about it. A super specialist, I'm a doctor so I know it. A super specialist is a doctor who studies about the human body in detail to a cellular level actually, and finally understands, I don't understand how it actually works, but it works, and I know that it works, then I'm a doctor. But I don't really know how it actually works. That's what earlier scientists used to say, that the cell wall is the brain of the cell. They used to say the nucleus is the cell, and that decides. So it's all there in the genes. Scientists used to say it's all there in the genes, and they say you have this problem in your gene, so you are bound to have this problem, and that's science. It's fixed. No, there is nothing called changing destiny, changing things. This is aisa. But of late, they realized it is not the nucleus that is the brain of the cell, it is the cell wall that is the brain of the cell. And cell wall always produces certain kind of things which picks what gene has to be activated at what time. Earlier, when Yogic Shastra said there is a prarabdha karma, there is a download. In healing language, we talk about the Jnanamaya Kosha downloading, the Manomaya Kosha downloading, all this, the karma factor. We talk about this. They never used to believe this never actually happens. But now, they see the cell wall has the capacity to actually activate and deactivate a specific type of gene. Earlier, they used to just consider that as a chain of, a phospholipid, I guess. Cell wall is considered as a phospholipid. It's just a phospholipid, or a lipid means fat, technically. It's just a fat wall. Nothing special about it. It just binds, okay? Now they say, no, it's the brain. And I asked how exactly it does. That I don't know. It works. So science is like a mansion where every scientist comes out of his own room and says, this is how science is all about. And this is not scientific. Organic chemistry doctor condemns something happening in inorganic chemistry. An inorganic chemistry doctor comes out and says, organic chemistry mein kuch. So science is a very complex thing. So that is not science. The science that I am trying to talk, which is a holistic, the whole complete science. In that science, this sadhana is what has been anciently, from the ancient days it's been told. So you should do that science, a scientific sadhana. But understand, there is something beyond this science also. And that actually makes or breaks this scientific sadhana called your own mind system, which is not actually connected. So there should be, as I was telling, twofold way. The first fold is the scientific sadhana of this, the Kundalini sadhana that I am talking. And the second way is always constant awareness of your feelings. What am I aware? What am I feeling? What is it happening? You should always watch your feelings. To be the watchman of your feelings while doing the sadhana, and that way you actually get a state where you can actually balance mind and heart. Because heart is the one that feels, okay? Heart is the one that feels the true feeling. Mind is the one which compels this mind to feel. Mind is the one that actually compels this heart. Now you feel it. Yeah, okay. Mind is the mischief maker. So mind has the control. Now mind can never be controlled. Mind can always be handled. So you watch your thoughts, but watching your thoughts become very difficult, but you get engrossed in it. You get lost in it. So watch your feelings. As you watch your feelings and do this sadhana, the sadhana becomes very fast. But if you confuse and not watch your feelings, not always analyze your feelings, and just to say, I blindly do sadhana for years together you do sadhana, you will never actually achieve anything. So, I think you understand, it's a twofold way of sadhana. How many actually do this twofold way? Nobody actually. Or either people who meditate, they meditate for years together, and at the end, after 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, they understand that, okay, the mind also has to be handled. And they handle it, and they achieve a perfect balance. Or from the start, doing the both. And then you achieve the goal faster. You achieve the fulfillment faster. Am I clear? So, please behave wisely by watching your own feelings in meditation. That is called the awareness. Meditation itself is that awareness. And in this process of awareness, earlier in Kundalini sadhana, people used to lose this awareness. And by losing awareness, they were throwing themselves open to the surgery of the gurus. By losing awareness, they were throwing themselves open to the surgery of the gurus. And they were open in a state of absolute turiya avastha, they used to throw themselves open. And in that state of openness, the gurus used to come and repair surgically, spiritual surgery, and they used to make this mind, quote unquote, ready. Over a period of years, when this process of surgically repairing this mind happens, this mind gets activated. And now this mind can be handled properly by the mind, so they actually observe the feeling, get that, and that is the reason why 100 people, 1,000 people, 1 million people for the matter, actually do meditation, only 1% get self-realized. If you see, how many get actually self-realized? But everybody's goal, most of the people who meditate, if I say for a long time, maybe if you are meditating for the past 5 years, and then I come to you and ask you what is your goal, then I always say self-realization is my goal. Okay? But then, do you want a blessing? Yeah, I want a blessing. And shall we invoke Lord Shiva? Yes, we will invoke Lord Shiva. Where is the invocation process? Actually, so you have not actually understood. Yes or no? That is the reason why in Siddha Sanmarga I don't even give importance to this invocation process. And in this invocation process also, Siddha Sanmarga never say I invoke. If you see the wording of the Siddha Sanmarga's invocation, we never say I invoke. And we never say please give. We don't actually beg. We say Varadha Bhava. Varadha Bhava is a kind of Ashiva, and Ayushman Bhava they say. That means, live long. In that, it's an authority, but a humble way, but a saying way. So, Sanskrit is a beautiful language actually. That's the reason why Sanskrit is actually the most powerful language known to man. So, Varadha Bhava means let it flood. Now, in that I am not begging. So, the Datta Jyoti is what I am asking. Shiva Jyoti is what I am actually. So, I am just commissioning it. So, there is no invocation. If you see, you understand my point? So, from the very root, it's being properly channelized. Do not invoke. There is nothing to invoke. Everything is you. You are the boss, you are the servant. You are the middleman of the universe. You are the maintenance man, you are the boss, you are the servant of universe. The day you understand that, you have realized. You are the maintenance man also, remember. And you are the servant, but you are the boss. You understand my point?
Embodiment.
Huh?
The embodiment of all.
The embodiment of all. If and that only, then commission. Prayer is commissioning it. Commissioning, I think you understand. Is that the right word? Commissioning? You understand? You commission something to come, right? That way. So, please try and understand. And you understand this, from within make a judgment that this is what truth is or not. And then live a life of your conviction. But don't be, invoking gods. There is no way that you actually invoke God. God is always there. Shall we do it again? Okay. Because I wanted the ideology to be set perfectly before you actually do meditation. Siddha Sanmarga invests a lot of time in setting this ideology right. Because if ideology is not right, no matter what sadhana you do, you're technically going in a wrong direction. Yes or no? So, we are talking about this ideologies most. We'll do sadhana. All our sadhanas are very powerful. So, and we don't even meditate for hours together actually. But we only meditate for 24 hours. No, if you see, we don't meditate. Both statements are true. Both statements are true. Ask my old people, they'll say both statements are true. They don't meditate for hours together, but they only meditate for 24 hours. It's like, what is meditation? It's a conception that close your eyes, sit at a place, calm place, experience your feeling. Meditate. That's what meditation is all. That we don't do for hours together. We do max 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But we be in a state of awareness, less awareness 24/7. That's 24 hours meditation. So both statements are true. Am I clear? Do you want to do it also? Good. So close your eyes now. हाँ, that is what I am important ma. कुछ देखना is good, but to an extent. అంటే कुछ देखना, seeing something in meditation is sixth standard. Okay? Perceiving something and feeling something in meditation is seventh, eighth standard. Okay? Being, and when you come out you feel that being coming out, finding that state of being is 10th class. Living in that state is perfection. And intermediate, perfection. It's a perfect state. And I'm not actually trying to classify. You understood my intention? So, meditation में ज़्यादा दिख जाना from yesterday also, और वो देखना के importance दो ही मत, क्योंकि आंख बंद किया कुछ awareness रहता है, सब कुछ मालूम रहता है, awareness रहता है, लेकिन जब आंख खोल रहा है तो असली मजा पता चलेगा, क्योंकि आप निराकार निर्गुण तो आनंद भी नहीं है, कुछ भी भगवान प्यार नहीं है किसी से भी. All Vedas shout and say this: God is not love, but in God, out of God comes love. God is not knowledge, but out of God comes knowledge. In the same way, God is nothingness, just blank awareness. Nirguna, Nirakara, Niranjana, Swarupa.